morning, everybody. It's about 4 in the morning, and this is the first episode of Shop Talk. I was so excited to get started doing this that I woke up this morning, and because of the hurricane, I ain't have to go to work. So I said, man, you know what? Let me just go ahead and knock this episode out before the hurricane get here. So, as you can see, I got the soldering iron. I got the soldering iron. I got the flux. I got the solder. I got the cleaning station. I got the multimeter. I got even a couple tweezers for small delicate parts. I got the wire cutters. I got everything I need to build a circuit, because today we're gonna be building this, the CP5 from DIYRE. Do-it-yourself recording equipment, and they've put together a great little preamp. Like, you see that little white spot right there? This is called a color preamp. That's why it's CP5, color preamp. And what this slot right here is for is you can change the sound of this preamp. So I'm gonna be talking about this preamp a little bit once I get some colors for it, so you can see what it is. But this slot, basically, you take like little chips, like little plugins, and you just pop them in that slot right there, and that changes the color of the preamp. So the preamp sounds more like a Neve, or it sounds more like an API. So that's why I got this kit, because of the versatility and being able to change the sound. And I said to myself, if I build it and I like it, then I'm gonna get another one. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna just sell it on either eBay or Reverb. You know what I mean? So I'm not really losing anything. So this is gonna be the first thing we build here on Shop Talk. This right here, the CP5 mic preamp. So let's just go through the bag and see what we got. So this is the circuit board. As you can see, there's the color preamp spot right there where the colors would go. And they got the logo on it. So this is the surface that we're gonna be putting all of our parts on. And then this bag is labeled 7. As you can see, there's a couple chips there. These look like, this bag is labeled 2, so I guess these are our capacitors or diodes. No, these are the capacitors. So this is our bag number 4. This looks more like our capacitors right here, or semiconductors. Here's the faceplate of what the face of the 500 series model is going to be. That's that right there. We also, bag number 1. So the first thing we're going to be putting on are these resistors. So this is bag number 1. Bag number 5 looks like a lot of parts, look like a lot of connectors. Bag number 5 looks like a bunch of connectors, so that's that. Bag number 6 looks like little buttons and knobs, LEDs, stuff that goes on the front of this face. And bag number 3 look like more chips. So that's it, bag's empty. So, because this is an anti-static bag, we're gonna probably be using this as a working surface to work on top of it. So anytime you're making something with an anti-static bag, you always use that anti-static bag as a working surface. So the first things we're gonna need is this. So all this other stuff can go to the side. We really just need this and this for the moment. That's gonna be our working surface. All right, everybody. As you can see, I've got all the resistors placed where they need to go. I double checked it with the multimeter to make sure that these resistors were the correct correct values. So what I've basically done is I've folded it into place. I'm not gonna solder it yet. I'm gonna try to solder everything at one time. But as you can see, so far we got all the resistors in. And then now we're gonna go move on. So bag number 1 is finished. Now we're moving on to bag number 2, which is basically all the small capacitors, fuses, diodes, stuff of that nature. So once I get all of these in, I'm gonna check back with you. Alright, Shop Talk, look, so we got our resistors in now. We got our ceramics and fuses in. So we got all of that. So now we're moving on to bag number 3, which is these right here. So let me go ahead and solder bag number 3, and then we can move on to the next bag. All right, everybody, and so far we've got the diodes and the bridges in. See, the important thing to realize about the diodes and the bridges right here, especially these bridges, is that they have a positive and a negative. So it's very important that you make sure that you, when you solder these, that you make sure that the positive and the negative is on the right side and all, you know, all of that good stuff. But so far, so good. So we got the resistors in. We got our fuses in, we got our diodes and bridges. Now we're moving on to bag number 4. Oh, quick thing about these, about capacitors. See these large capacitors? See how one leg is shorter than the other leg? Well, this is a quick tip about these. The longer leg is the positive side. The shorter leg is the negative side. So anytime you come across capacitors, because these have to be placed in a certain way. And see this strip right here, see how that gold line? That line dictates, like, it's also telling you that this lead, like this side right here is the negative side. All right, now we've got all the capacitors on. The board is starting to come together. Starting to look like something, right? So we did bag 4, we're on bag, see, I believe we're on bag number 5. All right, everybody, so this is what we got so far. This is what we got so far. I just put the faceplate on there so you can kind of get an idea of what this thing is gonna look like. So now we're on bag number 6. All right, everybody, so far so good. So I got the lights in. I got the knobs on, all the buttons are secure. So that's starting to look like a 500 series module right there, right? Looks good. We got one more bag number 7. Put these chips in, and I'm gonna power this thing up and see what it sounds like. All right, everybody, all the chips have been popped into the bridges, as you can see, and the board is finished. We're out of bags, we're out of pieces, we're out of parts. It's done, that's it. You cancel Christmas, it's a wrap. Another thing too, man, you know, once you finish soldering and you doing all that, you're gonna see all of that resin and stuff. So what I'm gonna go do now is get some alcohol and you know, rub the board down in alcohol, because you know I've been touching it with my hands and my hands been sweating a little bit. I've been on and off with the gloves, so let me go get some alcohol, rub this board down, and then we're gonna plug it up and see what it sounds like. But that's it, man. All the bridges are filled, capacitors, resistors. You know, I'm gonna do a little quick double check through the manual to make sure everything's in the right place, and I'm turning this bad boy on. We're gonna see what it sounds like.